So, how in the world do you get the chaotic, fast-paced world of a factory floor to speak the same language as the buttoned-up, financially focused front office? This is one of the biggest headaches in modern manufacturing. Today, we're going to break down how you can actually bridge these two completely different worlds and move from total chaos to real control. And this quote right here, it just nails it. Integrating these systems, it's not about plugging in a cable or designing a nice interface. It's about designing the entire way your business operates. It's a huge strategic choice, not just some tech problem for the IT department to solve. Okay, so to really get this, let's look at the two systems at the heart of this whole thing. And honestly, it helps to think of them as two totally different people with different personalities. On one side, you have the Manufacturing Execution System, MES, basically running the whole show on the shop floor. And on the other, you've got the corporate titan, SAP S/4HANA. Now this is where it gets really interesting. Let's give them job titles. The MES, it's your grizzled shop floor foreman. It is obsessed with the now, what machine is running, what specific part is being made, all measured down to the second. But then you have SAP S/4, and it's basically the company's chief financial officer. The CFO doesn't care about the moment-to-moment drama, it cares about the final numbers for the quarter. It thinks in big chunks, production orders, financial costs, and official settled inventory. One lives for dynamic execution, the other for financial finality.
So what do you think happens when you force these two, the foreman and the CFO, to talk directly to each other without a translator? Well, you get a massive data mismatch. It's just a mess.
And this problem has a name. It's called a granularity mismatch. And this right here, this is the villain of our story. Imagine the NES is shouting every single detail, every screw turned, every sensor ping, every tiny movement. It's basically speaking in individual letters. But SAP, it only wants to hear the finished novel, the final production count, the total materials used. It simply cannot handle that fire hose of raw, unfiltered detail.
And the stakes here are incredibly high. When you just dump all that super detailed data from the factory floor into SAP, the consequences are frankly disastrous. Your cost accounting just explodes with thousands of tiny, meaningless variances. Your finance team literally can't close the books on time. You lose any hope of clear traceability if there's a recall. You can even create serious tax and customs risks. And to top it all off, you slow both systems down or a crawl.
Okay, so we know we can't just plug them together. That is a guaranteed recipe for disaster. So the question becomes, how do we build a stable, smart bridge between these two very different worlds?
Well, the answer isn't a better cable. It's in setting up a clear set of rules for how they'll coexist. You can think of this whole section as the peace treaty that lets the shop floor foreman and the CFO work together, where each one respects the other's job.
Rule number one, and this one is an absolute deal breaker, is defining the system of record, or SOR. SAP S/4 is the single source of truth for all official final data. It's what the tax authorities are going to see, it's what the auditors check, it's what determines the company's financial health. When it comes to inventory and cost, SAP's word is law.
On the flip side, MES is the system of execution, or SOE. Its job is to manage the messy, real-time, in-the-weeds reality of actually making things. It's the super detailed work log of everything that happens on the floor, but, and this is key, it is not the final official record for accounting. This division of labor is just absolutely critical.
Now, rule number 3 sounds really technical, but stick with me because it's so important. It's a principle called idempotency. The easiest way to think about it is like a read receipt on an email. Factory networks, they can be glitchy. So if a message saying, we just made 100 widgets gets sent twice because of a network hiccup, an idempotent system is smart enough to know it's a duplicate and only processes it once. Without this, you could easily end up double counting your production and completely trashing your inventory numbers.
All right, so we have our core principles now. But here's the thing. While these rules are pretty much universal, the exact blueprint for your bridge really depends on what you're making. There is absolutely no single one-size-fits-all solution here. And this table just shows it perfectly. Look at how different industries need different levels of detail in their big corporate system, in SAP. If you're making semiconductors, tracing by lot and the specific machine used is a matter of life and death for quality control. For a car maker, it's all about that unique vehicle identification number, the VIN. But hey, if you're building giant machine tools, maybe just tracking at the sales order level is totally fine.
But see, no matter the industry, this core principle always holds true. SAP S/4 owns the accounting traceability, that's the money trail.
MES owns the deep, detailed physical traceability. That's the real story of how a specific product was actually built, step by step.
So as we start to bring this all together, it becomes really clear that this whole integration thing is way, way more than just another IT project. It's a fundamental decision about your business design.
So to get this right, business leaders have to ask these 4 critical questions. Number 1, what is the absolute minimum finalized data we need in SAP for our official records? Number 2, where are we going to manage all the nitty-gritty physical details? Number 3, how detailed do our costs really need to be for financial reporting? And finally, and this one's huge, what are the rules when things go wrong or an order changes halfway through production?
And to wrap it up, here are the landmines you have to avoid. These are the classic textbook failure patterns. Don't. Whatever you do, try to send all your MES data to SAP. It will break. Don't make your costing so ridiculously detailed that it becomes meaningless, and you have to be crystal clear from day one about which system is the ultimate system of record. Getting these wrong is the fastest way I know to a very expensive, failed project.
So you see, in the end, connecting the factory floor to the front office, it isn't really a technology project at all. It's a choice about your company's core philosophy, how you manage cost, how you track quality, and how you maintain control. So the real question isn't just how you're going to connect the systems, but what kind of company you really want to be. So, what choice will you make?